All right, I Am Mobile is the program, and it comes on every Wednesday at 4:15 p.m. to 4:45 p.m. on this station. I Am Mobile is a production of Pice Media Company for the National Automotive Design and Development Council, NADDC. And while we're looking at the benefits of the automotive sector to the Nigerian economy and prevailing on government and the public to patronize made in Nigeria vehicles today, I will implore you to gear up as on coming editions, say in a week or more, we will open phone lines for you to ask questions from experts in the automotive sector in Nigeria. Interesting, I'm sure somebody will say. Just be sure not to miss any of those. Well, to discuss the topic with me today, that's of course talking about the topic of discussion for today, Mr. David Oyetunji is in the studio. And of course, he is the Deputy Director of Finance and Accounts, National Automotive Design and Development Council. You're welcome to the studio, Mr. Oyetunji.
Thank you.
All right. It's another time, and of course, the budget will soon start its work. How does this affect the automotive sector? Let me start from that.
Well, the budget is key because definitely we are talking of automotive sector. We are talking of an important sector that can derive revenue, and it has to do with an industry that has a range of companies and organizations involved in design, development, manufacturing, marketing, selling of motor vehicles. It is one of the most important economic sector by revenue. Okay. So with the budget, so people that we lubricate the economy, that we buy the vehicles, the auto parts manufacturers, they are waiting for the budget to be in place so that they will be able to sell their products. Some people who are waiting to be able to do one thing or the other, especially importing used vehicles or buying new vehicles, the budget is key. It is when money begins to exchange hands that all these things can take place.
Okay, I like the fact that you mentioned that this sector, that's talking about the automotive sector in Nigeria, is key and would definitely bring revenue. I will take you on that later on the show today. But before that, what do we as Nigeria or Nigerians, what do we expect, or other stakeholders, what should we expect? Because, well, we're talking about benefits of patronizing made in Nigeria products, and we're looking at what the automotive industry has been to Nigerians so far. What should we expect? How would this and everything you have mentioned benefit us as Nigerians? Well,
the statistics shows that 806 million cars and light trucks were on the road in 2007 around the world. And you know what it means. Then, in addition to that, they consumed 980 billion liters of gasoline and diesel fuel annually. That is something important to the economy.
Okay.
And of course, when this happens, you know that the opportunities, they are abound. For instance, employment creation. When definitely vehicles are purchased, when they are on the road, when they are purchased, those who are producing, they will be able to sell. When they sell, because of expansion, they will need to employ more. Okay. So it will generate employment. Which will solve the problems of the country. Not only that, it has its own contribution to GDP. In South Africa, the auto industry alone contributes 7% of GDP and 12% of exports. If it is well developed in Nigeria, this contribution too will be experienced, because we are talking of decline in the oil sector. So this decline, automotive sector can really fit in, because government is talking of diversification. Definitely. This is one of the ways to diversify. Then what of economic leakages? There are leakages ranging from design, development, manufacturing, service-related activities such as marketing and sales and maintenance and after-sales service. With all these leakages, they generate the unemployment, they generate income for individuals as well as for the economy. Then the foreign reserve. We are talking of people are looking for foreign exchange and is a serious problem. Supposing this area is well developed, definitely we will conserve the foreign exchange.
Definitely.
And not only that, when we begin to export, then we will earn foreign exchange, and that will be a favorable balance of payment. Then what of small, medium, and micro enterprises development in respect of automotive parts, components, and all the rest? Because we are talking of developing small and medium scales.
Okay.
This is an opportunity. When this sector is developed, all these auto parts components in their own micro levels, then they can develop, and honestly the economy will, it will boost the economy.
All right. You mentioned that in South Africa, 7% represents income. It's also from the automotive sector that's in South Africa. Now we are clamoring for patronage in automotive sector in Nigeria, though agriculture and a few other sectors have always been great contributors to the Nigerian economy, and now we are seeing things changing. What are those factors put in place to ensure steady and constant contribution from the automotive sector?
Well, first and foremost, government has to create enabling environment.
Okay, by that you mean?
Yes, by that we mean that things that can make it work. What are those things?
Yeah.
Number one, the government should raise the consciousness of every individual, either through a bill or even our policy that has made it necessary for Nigerians to patronize made in Nigeria cars. Now that the automotive sector has succeeded in bringing some investors into this country, patronage is key.
Definitely.
If we will sustain their stay in the country. So they should be patronized. Okay. And if they are patronized, then it will be easier for them to develop. Not only that, in the area of tariff should be made so high for imported items, for all these parts and component parts that we can see in the country. Then if the imported ones has a very high level of tariff, definitely people will have to make do with what is available locally. And once that is done, believe you me, they will be able to sustain their stay. And once that is sustained, then the diversification will be achieved, because the economy will develop along this direction.
Okay, are you saying that we don't have these things mentioned on ground? Are you saying that this is just like an advice to the government, or we have some of these things or even more that you have mentioned on ground for this sector to thrive? Yeah,
subsequent governments have been trying their best to ensure that this enabling environment is created.
Okay.
And what this government too is trying to do is to add more.
Okay. Because
the past governments, they have tried their best, but the existing government that is now looking inwards. Now, with the collaboration with National Automotive Council, we believe that it will be carried, to a higher level.
All right. We also believe that it will be carried to a higher level. But before we move on, let's quickly take a message from the National Automotive Design and Development Council. The program is still I Am Mobile.
Hey, you don't hear this one? Nigeria Automotive Industry Development Plan, when show face since November 2013, and Dagidiba to see develop for automobile industry plus employment, joint foreign exchange, VC front. Inside last year, Nigeria throw away past 600 billion naira on top to buy motor, spare part, and even tire. This kind money for we do better thing. If to say the country develop our own automobile industry, reach ground, many things they to enjoy. The one we they call industrial development. Speaking them when no get work, they go learn handwork. Our local manufacturing industry, then safe go get mouth out. We no go need to throw money go our Oyibo brothers their hand again. Since when the policy show face, motor company when been done nearly by, they don't stand well now. Some of them na Von when be Volkswagen of Nigeria before, Innocent Vehicle Manufacturing, Leyland Busan, Pan when they do Peugeot, Proforce for Ogun, plus including 24 other company when don't show sign to carry body joint like Honda, Kia, Renault, Coscharis, plus Global Motor. The better to be say the council don't carry body join in own partner to start package when go let you buy motor. Once this package start Nigeria, we go forget Tokumbo Motor begin by made in Nigeria motor.
This message is from National Automotive Design and Development Council.
All right, I Am Mobile is the program, and of course, the station is Raypower FM. I Am Mobile is brought to you by the National Automotive Design and Development Council, NADDC. And today we are looking at the benefits of the automotive sector to the Nigerian economy, prevailing on government and the public to patronize made in Nigeria vehicle. I have been speaking with Mr. David Oyetunji, the Deputy Director of Finance and Accounts, National Automotive Design and Development Council. And yes, he's still here in the studio. Now, we are looking at patronizing made in Nigeria. In your own account or in your observation, if you have to rate what percentage of Nigerian government would you say uses made in Nigeria product, especially this one we're talking about, made in Nigeria vehicles?
Well, the issue is that we may not be able to give accurate statistics.
Okay, just give us what you think.
But from the data from Nigerian Automotive Manufacturers Association, NAMA,
okay,
we have the record that shows that a total of about 400,000 vehicles were, purchased, comprised of 100,000 new and 300,000 used vehicles, which was valued at over 550 billion naira, which is $3.451 billion US dollars, which were imported in 2012. So that shows, with these statistics, it shows that supposing we all these things are being sourced locally, in the first instance, people will not even talk of used vehicles because it will be within the range. Because once there is patronage and volume is achieved, definitely they will be able to sell. Okay,
so give and take, what percentage of Nigerian would you say use made in Nigeria vehicle right now?
Well, right now the percentage is very, very low. Okay. Maybe we can assume between maybe 5%.
Okay, because why is that? Why do we have this percentage so low?
Yes, the position now is that if you check the economy of people, the level of income that people have is a reason. And because these vehicles are imported and it is based on exchange rate, it is so expensive and it is outside the budget of some individuals. That accounts for that. And definitely that is when National Automotive Design and Development Council is clamoring for all these things to be produced in within the country, and for credit scheme to be introduced, that once this credit scheme is introduced, then if people do not have the economic power to buy it, can borrow, and it will be spread over the years, and they'll be able to achieve this.
Now, talking about that, the sum of 2.5 billion naira was set aside for a Nigerian vehicle credit purchase scheme to increase patronage of the local automotive industry. In addition, agreement has been concluded with West Bank, South Africa, on driving the vehicle credit purchase scheme in Nigeria. How would you say this would affect all this that you've mentioned? Because I think we have to look for a way to encourage these people.
Yes. In the wisdom of National Automotive Design and Development, and based on the experience of South Africa that is being able to increase the national GDP through this sector, so National Automotive Design and Development has gone into that collaboration, and once it is finally, approved, it is going to enhance the patronage, because people will have the opportunity of getting accessing this credit, and they will be able to buy because what we are talking about is increasing the sales, and the only way to increase the sales is when people with they can afford to buy it. The only way to afford it is that even if they cannot receive through their personal incomes, they can get this through these credit schemes. They can get soft loan, and they get it, and it will be spread, and it will be within their ability to pay. And with that, there will be increase in patronage.
Okay, I do hope that the government and other stakeholders are already working earnestly to make sure that this becomes a reality, and soonest too. Well, before you go, I would have asked you a question, but since we've already gone past that, I would just ask you, what would you tell a Nigerian who still feel made in Nigeria is one expensive, and I can't afford it. I would still rather do my tokumbo or the second hand, as some will put it. What message would you give such a person?
The message I would give to them is that what is new is new. Tokumbo, you don't know how many years it has been used. You don't even have the guarantee for purchasing it. But if you make do with the new vehicle, warranty will be given.
Okay.
Not only that, within the next 2 years, you may not talk of serious servicing. Not only that, maintenance cost will reduce. Not only that, fuel consumption will reduce. Not only that, in fact, the what you will gain from all these maintenance costs, from it will have compensated for what you think you will gain from Tokumbo. We are talking of Tokumbo because they are not available. With what National Automotive Council has done by bringing these people who are producing in other countries down to Nigeria, and they are now assembling those vehicles where you can access them, getting them brand new. I believe within a short time, perception will change, and people will drop this idea of used cars, and they will now go for Tokumbo. Those who will be talking of used cars, maybe they are people that are just coming up like students. So it is not for working class.
All right, I love that, and I'm also optimistic. Well, in case someone wants to reach the council that's talking about NADDC, how can we reach you? Your phone numbers, your address, and all that.
Yeah, thank you very much. For our address, we are at number 23 Baraku Crescent off AMINU Kano, Wuse 2, Abuja. I take it again. Number 23 Baraku Crescent off AMINU Kano, Wuse 2, Abuja. Website www.naddc.gov.ng. Once again, www.naddc.gov.ng.
Okay.
For email address, contact@naddc.gov.ng. Once again, contact@naddc.gov.ng. For telephone numbers, 09 291 3782, 09 291 3782. Second number, 09 291 3783, 09 291 3783.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. David Oyetunji, Deputy Director of Finance and Accounts, National Automotive Design and Development Council, for coming on the show. I Am Mobile.
Thank you very much.
All right, what greater joy can we derive than seeing a seal which authentically or truly and probably originally has in bold prints, made in Nigeria. I am that patriotic, and I want to believe you are too. So let's think of how proud and great the likes of Fela Anikulapo Kuti of great memory, Victor Waifo, Dan Maraya, King Sunny Ade, Onyeka Owenu, Ashatu Fezi Dibia, Dangote, Adenuga, and others alike have made this country in their various sectors. And let's think of how we can also do our best. Let's think of our own Innocent, who is also doing something in the automotive sector. How can you as a Nigerian be a part of this? Let's think positively and beautifully too how to make Nigeria and made in Nigeria products the in thing in Nigeria and probably outside. Till next Wednesday, 4:15 to 4:45 p.m. Another time for I Am Mobile, brought to you by National Automotive Design and Development Council. I remain yours sincerely, Sheyi Elams. My sound engineer has been Leke Johnson. I am mobile and I use made in Nigeria vehicles. What about you? Good afternoon.
Did you know that the automobile industry is currently the second largest user of foreign exchange in Nigeria? The Nigeria Automotive Industry Development Plan, introduced in November 2013 by the federal government of Nigeria, is to support the development of the automobile industry, create employment, and stem the flight of foreign exchange, among other things. Benefits of NAIDP: industrial development, skill development, development of local component manufacturing industry, and foreign exchange from export and buy made in Nigeria automobiles. Since the introduction of the policy, automotive plants that were on the verge of collapse have a new lease of life and are producing new models. Vaughan, Volkswagen of Nigeria, Innocent Vehicle Manufacturing Inewi, Leyland Busan, Ibadan, Pon, Profos, Oderemo, Ogun State. 24 other companies are busy setting up assembly operations, including Honda, Kia, Renault, Costaris, and Globe Motors. The council is working with its partners to introduce a vehicle purchase scheme at affordable interest rate. With the scheme fully operational, Nigerians will be able to purchase new cars and forgo used cars. Brace yourself. Get ready to use made in Nigeria vehicles.
This message is from National Automotive Design and Development Council.